That brings me to part two. Let's talk about the Black Dog. As an album opener, because I am thinking about part two as kind of its own album, I think it is so much better than Fortnite. So much better than Fortnite. The thing about Fortnite is it's a vibe. And I get it. It's kind of a vibe setter, but it's a little sleepy to me. And nothing like Black Dog. Oh, no, no. I was not asleep on Black Dog, okay? When she hit the old habits die screaming, I was awake. And this is another one where she's the only credited writer. Feels both like classic Taylor and new Taylor. I don't really know how or why. I think maybe because of the strong hitting on old habits. I feel like she's done that now a couple times within this album. So that kind of feels like new Taylor to me, but a little bit like old Taylor in the song structure. It's just a bit more of a song, where Fortnite as an album opener again felt more of a vibe, a little less structured. This feels structured more like a classic Taylor Swift song. And I love that. I felt like great opener. Wish it had been the opener to the whole thing. Love it. Give the people what they came for, Taylor. And that's what I feel like she did with the Black Dog. Now, this is what I'm going to say about I'm Gonna Get You Back. To me, this was her just giving us a little bit of a groove. It almost feels like a maroon type vibe, or dress, or even Midnight Rain. It almost has that R&B sort of vibe to it, with a little bit of a bass underneath. Every now and then Taylor's going to hit us with one of those. She usually never gives us more than one or two per album. This is the one or two per album. I think this and Down Bad is what I would put in that category. And I love it. It's smooth. I have seen people make comparisons to the Olivia Rodrigo song, I'm Gonna Get Him Back. And I understand thematically, yes, those two songs are similar, but sonically, extremely different. So I think some people are, they're going a little far with the comparisons, because this song sounds nothing like that one. This to me is one of those Taylor giving us that little groove with the little beat, and I appreciate it because I feel like you need that. You need something to break up, sad, 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 angry, angry, angry. Now let me groove a little, So I appreciate this song for that reason. Now the next song I have to talk about is the track 5 for part 2. How Did It End? Ooh, 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 ooh. When I tell you I love this song, it's another extremely sad one. However, what I love about it is this is the type of breakup song I feel like I need to be getting from Taylor Swift right now. Not just the pure breakup of it all, right? Because I have so many breakup songs to choose from Taylor. Give me another lens, give me another perspective, give me something else to think about. And in this song, I'm not just thinking about the breakup itself. I'm thinking about all of the people who feign empathy when you're going through that breakup, when they've heard about the breakup. The people who say, oh no, she has a line in there where she talks about hunger, empathetic. Hold on, let me see. How does she say it? She has a line in there where she says the empathetic hunger descends. Now that line right there, what I took it to mean was you have all these people around you whenever she announces a breakup who are feigning empathy in a way. Yes, there's empathy. Yes, they care about you. Yes, they want to know, but also they're hungry. They want the tea. They want the details. They want to know, how did it go down? That's what I feel like we're getting the perspective of in this song. And I love it for that. I love that I'm not just hearing about the breakup itself, and yes, the pain and the sorrow and the grief, but now I'm hearing about, all the people who want to know, how did it end? That's another perspective. And I think one that's relatable. I think anyone who's gone through a breakup can relate to knowing people want the details, they want the tea. But when you're Taylor Swift, it's on a million, because not only do her friends want the tea and her people in her circle want the tea, the whole world wants the tea. We want it on an album. We want it in the lyrics. We want it on stage. We want it, through the rumor mill. We want it on Dumois. You know what I mean? Like, It's on level a million. And that's the perspective I'm getting in this song. And I love it, love it, love it. And then on top of all of that, it's beautiful. It's haunting. It's devastating. It's all the things you want in a Taylor Swift breakup song. So 10 out of 10, no notes. She also has a lot of really great lyrics in this song. I personally love our maladies were such that we could not cure them. I think just that's such a beautiful line to me. It's just a beautiful way to phrase that, I think. Our maladies were such that we could not cure them. It feels poetic. It feels like a line you would see in a poem. And I think the way she writes a lot of the lines in this, I mean, she's always been poetic in her lyricism, but I think the way she turns a phrase on a lot of these lyrics feels extra poetry-y to me. I don't know why. People who know more about poetry can say why, but a line like this feels not just like a lyric, but like the line of a poem. And she does that so much in this album. And then for the chorus to be, come one, come all, it's happening again. The empathetic hunger descends. We'll tell no one except all of our friends. We must know, how did it end? I mean, it's just, you know, she's speaking from the heart on that. You know, she's speaking from experience of having yet another relationship end, and then having the people, some of whom are close friends, some of who are faux friends, say, oh, we want to be there for you. We want to support you. But in fact, what they want to do is go tell their friends all the tea. We know she's experienced it. And by the way, so have we. It's relatable, but also feels like gives me a new perspective on what she experiences in these breakups. And if you're going to write another breakup song as Taylor Swift, that's what I want. I want another perspective, and she delivers, and I love it. I do want to touch shortly on So High School, not because I think this is such a high point of the album, but I do like the break it gives us, something a bit more upbeat, a bit more fun, and I do love the chorus. It feels very classic Taylor. In the blink of a crinkle and I am sinking, our fingers entwined, like that. It feels satisfying because it feels classic Taylor. I feel like I've heard that sort of thing before, and it kind of feels like home that way for me. And then I do like the kind of airiness of it, you know, kind of like not taking itself so seriously. I feel like this is a serious album of serious thoughts. Let's take a minute. You know, I appreciate her giving us this less serious song, or at least to me, it feels less serious. It feels more fun, and I appreciate that. Another high point for me on the album is the Bolter. This is a high point for me because it feels fun to sing. It feels like it would be really fun to play. Now, I play piano. I don't play guitar. It feels like it would be really fun to play on guitar, and honestly makes me want to learn how to play guitar, and that is kind of on my bucket list for this year. But it feels like it would be really fun to play and sing at the same time. I like songs like that just feel like they drive in such a way that once you got into the groove, you would just be able to groove away with it. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. This song is a groove, and I love that it's, you know, towards the end of the album, because it feels like, again, you want something in between because I mean, before this you have Peter, and before that you have Cassandra, and before that you have the prophecy. Okay, so she's giving us like, whew, sad and sorrowful. So I appreciate something like this that is a bit more of a groove as we get towards the end of the album. I also like a lot of the lyrics here and the storytelling device that she's using, because she opens up telling the story of a moment where this girl, maybe it's Taylor, maybe it's someone else, this girl, when she's 6 years old, almost drowns, right? She falls through the ice, almost drowns. That's how she opens the story and introduces this character to us who may or may not be her. Then we hear it continue to come back, because in the chorus she continues to say, all her fucking lives flash before her eyes. It feels like the time she fell through the ice, then came out alive. So essentially she's telling us, she brings it back because she says, as she was leaving, it felt like breathing. All her fucking lives flash before her lives. It feels like the time she fell through the ice, then came out alive. So she's bringing that motif back from the very beginning of falling through the ice and almost dying. And now whenever she leaves somebody, she has a similar feeling of, it's scary at first, but I came out alive. Look at me. I'm even better. I'm alive, bitch. I mean, I love that she brings it back. And I love that she's comparing getting out of a relationship to like being able to breathe again. I think that's powerful. And again, I think it's fun and a good way to break up what is kind of a long, sorrowful stretch in the album as we get to the end of the album. So I'm a big fan of this one. And then the final song I want to talk about is the Manuscript. This is without doubt so much better of an ending than Clairbow. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Okay, argue with the wall. This is the way to end the album. Okay, now you could argue Clairbow wasn't really an ending, it was kind of the dead center, but whatever. It's the end of that first album. Like I said, I am thinking of these as two. And to me, after The Alchemy, then ending on Clairbow was a let down. That song just felt like such a skip. Like, why would we end here? Versus Manuscript, this felt like how you end an album because I feel like she's putting a bow on the whole thing. All these different chapters, all these different stories, all these different relationships. I had it. That story's done. It isn't mine anymore. And the thing about this song is I like it because it's the album closer. I like it as a closer of an album. I don't know that it's a song I would just press play on and listen to and sing to because it feels very lilt-y. It feels very reading from my journal-y to me. So less like a song and more like spoken word, but the words she's speaking feel like the exact right words to speak in order to close out the album. And for that, I'm very much into it. I also think as a metaphor for her life, sort of treating it as a script where there are actors who hit their marks and then leave and where the crying is happening in time with the music. I like it because I understand that her life, of course, isn't a movie. None of this was scripted. But in a way, now that this chapter is closed, we're able to sort of look at it that way. Oh, okay, you played your role and I played mine. Now the movie has come to an end. And I love how she ends it out. And at last, she knew what the agony had been for. The only thing that's left is the manuscript. One last souvenir from my trip to your shores. Now and then I reread the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore. What a satisfying end to this journey she has taken us on. She has sent us here, there, and everywhere in search of the story of her failed relationships. And now she's closing it out and saying, but the story isn't mine anymore. It's all yours, as she said on Instagram. I do love that. I do think that brings it together and makes it feel like kind of a nice bow on the end of things. And I love this song for that. Like I said, is it a song I see myself just pressing play on in and of itself all that often? No. But as an album closer, I think really beautiful, really well placed, and yeah, makes it feel complete. So that's it for me in terms of the songs that really are highlights for me. There are a few others that I think are nice, but I would say those are the ones that are my highlights, the ones that I'm probably going to put into a playlist called the Tortured Poets Department and make my own little collection. I really do think she gave us a lot so that we could figure out which of these poems speak to us the most. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I want to know which of these songs would be in your TPD. Let me know in the comments. And if you like this sort of content, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time.